Guys, the Super Review Show here for another episode of Rock Talk. This is a show where I break down albums that have anniversaries, or the album is just that good, you should definitely check it out. And here we are today celebrating the 40th anniversary of one of Talking Heads' greatest albums, truthfully. We're talking today about the 40th anniversary from 1983 of Talking Heads' Speaking in Tongues. This is an original pressing of this album for today, June 1st, 2023. 40 years later, here we are still talking about Talking Heads. Haha, talking heads. Anyways, this is a great album. This is their fifth album from 1983. And if you're here, let me show you the cover real quick. There's the cover of the front. There's the cover of the back. This is one of those albums that, if you know Talking Heads well, if they were big in, they're a new wave band. They were big in the 70s, big in the early 80s and whatnot. David Byrne went on to have a pretty successful career afterwards, too, with this Utopia from not Birds. David Byrne's Utopia on Broadway. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but if you're in the New York area, it was on Broadway for a number of years. I believe he sadly ended it, though, but... David Byrne is a great guy. By the way, if you want to just follow his Instagram, David Byrne's Instagram, he takes modern day pictures of just random stuff and he puts funny captions, and you can see his mindset of where he was as an artist. Not just a musical artist, but an artist. He'll take pictures of a pile of wood and be like, this is something, and he'll put a funny caption. Follow his Instagram. It's really, really cool and really informative. I follow it through our Super Review Show Instagram account. So, David, hello. Back to Talking Heads. Talking Heads' fifth album, Speaking in Tongues. There was two singles released off of this record called Burning Down the House and This Must Be a Place Called The Native Melody. I'm a big fan of Talking Heads. I did a video about why you should listen to Talking Heads, truthfully. They are a great new wave band to get into. And they have a lot of really great songs outside of just the couple of big hits. Obviously, Burning Down the House opens up this record. Then you have Making Flippy Floppy, Girlfriend is Better, Slippery People, I Get Wild / Wild Party. The side 2 is Swamp, Moon Rocks, Pull Up the Roots, This Must Be the Place, Native Melody. The two big singles off this record were the first song and the last song. Burning Down the House and This Must Be the Place, Native Melody. Talking Heads, produced it, they made it, and they recorded it in the Sound Cinema Studios in New York, and it came out today, June 1st, in 1983. This is one of those records where if you're looking for an album that has funk music to new wave to a modern the 80s rock, this is a good album to listen to. And there's so many reasons why, but just a couple reasons why, truthfully, are because, number one, Talking Heads did it best. I mean, outside of the bigger new wave bands of the time, like Tears for Fears was doing well. The Psychedelic Furs, they were doing well. Simple Minds was doing well. You know what I mean? But this is a band from the boroughs of, I think they're from New York, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not super familiar with Talking Heads, but I do like them quite a bit. But Talking Heads, this one is a really good album to get into for, as I said, many reasons, but a couple reasons are because of the sound, the style of music. If you put it on, you're like, oh, when I listened to it from start to finish on my LP player, I only knew the two songs, but when I was listening to the other tracks on the record, I was like, this is actually a really good album. I mean, not would every other song on the record be a hit? Probably not back in the day. But if you're listening to it, just put your mind back in 1983, and you're like, you know what? This is something someone would listen to back then. It really holds up to this day. I mean, here we are, 40 years later, talking about it on June 1st. It's definitely a strong record. It is their fifth record, too, as I mentioned. And the songs on it have really been sitting on this album for a long time. Sound-wise, it is a little bit more funky, like F-U-N-K. I have a stuffy nose, forgive me, guys. Stuffy nose. Sorry, not stuffy nose. I can't talk anymore. Funky, rhythmic patterns. Really interesting song choices. Really interesting song quality. Talking Heads was a band that really was new wave, but their own thing at the same time. I mean, their song, just on a side note, Life During Wartime in Cities are some of their best songs, I mean, in my opinion. I mean, outside of Psycho Killer as well. That's a great song, too. But this one was kind of like their fifth album with a couple of hits, but lesser known stuff on it. So if you're looking to get into more psychedelic, no, not psychedelic, new wave rock with some funk elements to it, check out Talking Heads Speaking in Tongues. I mean, today's the 40th anniversary of it, in June 1st. So if you were to check out any album from that has an anniversary this year, whatever it is, check out Talking Heads Speaking in Tongues. It really holds up. This is 40 years later. It's a great new wave record. It has a lot of sound to it, a lot of really good, interesting instrumentation to it. Try saying that 5 times fast. It's a really great record, and I really recommend you check it out. And David Byrne was great too. He was their lead vocalist, and he did such a good job with this. But yeah, happy 40th anniversary to Talking Heads. Speaking in Tongues. But yeah, so what do you guys think? Are you a fan of Talking Heads? Did you ever see them live when they were a band? Have you seen David Byrne's Utopia on Broadway when it was on Broadway? Do you follow David Byrne at all? Are you a Talking Heads fan at all? Jump down in the comment section below to share your thoughts on this record. Love to hear you guys have to say about this. But for all of your Rock Talk episodes, and happy 40th anniversary to Talking Heads Speaking Tongues. Don't forget to follow us, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram, simply at The Super Review Show. And yeah, but for all of your Rock Talk episodes, keep it locked on The Super Review Show, the J-Man, off to rock. See you guys later.